There's some kind of a magic to it often that when one is out there, it feels like you're the only person.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, look! Matching scarves! Oh my god! Obviously, like, the knoll produces food, and so the food goes to the dining halls. I was gonna say, now that we have a little bit of a bigger group, let's go around again and say names, and we could do like a little icebreaker question. So today our question is, like the end of May, most of June was the more like labor intensive portion, because that's when we were like getting the beds ready, so we had to like redig things, we had to pull out a lot of weeds, we had to like very rhythmically put the seeds in July was a lot of us just waiting and taking care of the plants, so like we were mainly putting most of our efforts into events, I think, at that time, and just kind of like planning for like the 20th anniversary and things like that. We had like a lot of different groups come in just because we were trying to like bring more money into the knoll. So we were working with alumni a lot. We were going to Bread Loaf. We gave like an alumni presentation. We got to talk to like different groups. Like a group from UVM came down to talk to us about like environmentalism. You do get to learn about like obviously planting and how to take care of plants in the earth, but then you also just get to learn a whole lot about just like environmentalism and how things grow, and like because we got to see climate change firsthand and how that impacted all of our crops. And we also got to participate with Hope. It's helping overcome poverty's effects, which is a food shop in town. There's like a lot of meetings that happen in the environmental like sphere that the knoll is connected in. So like Hope, the School of Abenaki, there's like just different like community members too, like who are personally invested. I was given volunteer hours on like a Thursday, and it was just really nice because like I only had one class on a Thursday, so I would wake up, go to class, and then do 3 hours at the knoll, and it was like what am I supposed to do, like bust out my computer and do homework? No. Like I had to sit there and like just connect with the earth for a little bit, you know, and it just felt like so nice. It was like something completely different in my schedule. Like I wasn't in a classroom, I wasn't like doing my homework, like I was outside talking to people, working in the garden, and it felt like an intentional break, which is something that I really appreciated because it was like it truly just was like a break from everything else.
Treasure.
There's like a little bit of web underneath it, so it could be spiders.
Right. My name is Megan Brinkley, and I am located in Middlebury, Vermont. So in April of 2018, I started as the food and garden educator at the Knoll at Middlebury College. And the mission of the Knoll is to explore food as a medium to cultivate well-being in people, place, and the planet. We grow produce for the dining halls and for partners in the community to help address food insecurity. We help to support student, faculty, and course research. The garden was established in 2002, and the students broke ground in 2003. So that was actually while I was a student at Middlebury College. And The revenue they generated from the produce that they grew ran the farm, and that was the only budget that they received in the first year or so. And then they got some student money from the Student Activities Fund, but they were running it more like a business then. It's been such a privilege to be able to think about what is the knoll and what does that allow us to do. If the knoll is not a production farm, then what are we doing there? We're working with people, really great people. And how do we do that in a way that's relational, that's not just transactional, that provides rich learning opportunities and time to listen to each other? The early 2000s, when I was in Vermont, there were just whole new conversations that were starting to emerge. It dates me to think of them as being new, but they were new. The concept of a carbon footprint and food miles, really starting to examine conventional, quote unquote, conventional agriculture were fresh new topics, and even considering like cradle to grave production and externalities of, the business choices or the economic decisions that we make might have consequences and on the environment. How about that? The knoll as a site is primitive. It does not have any irrigation, any in-ground irrigation system. When it's cloudy, we don't have potable water. We don't have access to refrigeration or electricity. Part of the magic of the site is that it's open to the public. Even though so many different groups access the knoll as an event space, it is literally not an accessible site. We're not ADA accessible by a long shot. We published a statement naming the incredibly fraught history that agriculture and our economy in this country have had from the outset, that didn't value lives and that were centered on oppression, on land theft, subjugation, erasure of cultures and peoples. And so that also helped us to really refocus and be able to name, okay, the goal here is to actively engage with anti-oppression work and to actively engage on food sovereignty work. What, you think you're going to finish that? No, there's more in there.
Should we press them into the soil? Yeah.
Yeah, but that's easier. Sometimes it's easier to go at the end and just dab. When this position opened up in 2018, I found out about that like just through a passing conversation with someone. I was like, "What? That position opened up? Are you kidding me? I thought I was gonna have to wait like 15 years." And then it opened up, and I found myself in it, and I thought, "Oh my God, I must be the luckiest person on the planet." I don't know.
But it's like pretty much like kind of sunset. Could you pass me the company? Just a test. I think, especially last summer, because of like all the climate change that was happening, people wanted to know more, especially from us, because we were working at the knoll. So they kept inviting us to like come and talk or like come and like listen and like come and learn from them.
I think the hard thing was more so just that like there's a general timing that comes with plants of like when you plant it at this time. The sun and the moon and like everything, like they know the cycles. And when climate change is happening, that cycle is like thrown off. Some things just wouldn't grow well. It would take way longer than originally planned. So we'd have like less to bring to like Hope or let's say to the dining halls. Or like we just couldn't count on what would be growing really well or not. This year, like the poppies did really well, the Johnny Jump Ups, like in terms of flowers, did really well. But in other years, it like has been different, I guess. So it fluctuates.
Definitely really nice to like get to kind of work on something and then like just feel like you're a part of something, whether that's like you're the beginning of the story or like the middle or the end chapter, like you're somewhere in like a much larger narrative.
I don't know, I just didn't think that we had to be the ones to mow the lawn. Like, I just never
swore it was someone else.
I guess. I don't know who I thought did it, but I didn't think it was gonna be me.
Actually, it was never you.
It was never me. I never touched the lawn mowing. Well, the school fund whatever you need. I got like $200 to buy clothes for the Knoll. I got waterproof boots. I got a pair of overalls. I got like shirts and pants. I got everything I needed. So that shouldn't be like a barrier.
You don't need to have any experience with farming or anything to have entered this role. It's more about you as a person and your interests and like connecting with people and how you work in a team. Yeah.
What impacts soil health practices?
Yeah, when I first met the students who started this, Gene Hamilton and Bennett Kinesny, they told me they wanted to start a garden at Middlebury College, but they told me that it wasn't about gardening or farming or growing vegetables and flowers. That was a mechanism. What they really wanted was to get people together to be able to relate to each other and talk about issues in a very different environment than the classroom. They never thought of it as being better than the classroom, just different. And that there were so many relational things going on here. Relation with the soil, with the animals, insects, and all the people that came out here. And so I was hooked.